Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. I am so glad that you decided to pop in and join me tonight. We have another great show for you, and I do want to thank you for coming. Whether you're here at 11:20 at night or you happen to be here at 11:20 in the morning, doesn't really matter to me. I'm just so happy and grateful that you've decided to actually be here and to be part of the great information that I'm sharing. Of course, there's a QR code at the top right-hand corner of the screen. You can go ahead and take your phone app on your phone and just kind of point over there, click on the QR code there with the yellow lips, or you can just go to believemeachieve.com if you're listening to like one of the podcasts. Really excited, everyone. You know why? We are doing great. I mean, our podcast now, I think we are almost at 8,000 downloads. I think we're at 7,500 the last time I checked. So that's phenomenal. So keep it up, ladies and gentlemen. Keep watching this great content that we have because I know you definitely want to do that. Tonight we have a really, really good show for you guys. And so what I want to share with you is something very important tonight. But before I do that, I want to let you guys know what I do. So I help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more scalable and, of course, profitable business. Check out believemeachieve.com for more amazing information. All right, let's get on with the master topic because I know you guys want to know about that. So let's get to the master topic. Here it is, everyone. Our master topic is everyone ready for the master topic? Because this is actually something kind of interesting. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, actually starts a new master topic for the week. You know how we do this? We start on Saturday. So today is a Saturday evening, and we're starting off with a brand new master topic. I think that's pretty amazing. Here it is, everyone. You ready for it? From training wheels to triumph. Series 2 means we're in the second year, show 38, episode number 1. I have a question for any of you guys out there. How many of you out there ride a bike or learned how to ride a bike? Okay. When did you actually learn to ride a bike? I bet it was probably many years ago. Most people, ride a bike when they're either could be in kindergarten, it could be in a lot of different times in their life. But I think the most important thing about riding a bike is that there are a lot of lessons we have to learn. And so this is the stage for this week. And that is from training wheels to triumph. I bet you guys love the fact, when you got on the bike and you're able to just take those training wheels off. But there's some things you have to do first. So the first thing when we think about riding a bike is we want to start small. Of course, have someone put the training wheels on for us, an adult or someone, and then we start small. We go 5 feet, 10 feet, and maybe there's even a parent or a guardian or somebody holding the bike as we're actually, doing this without the training wheels on. When the training wheels are on, it's a lot easier, right? But when they come off, it's a lot harder. And so, as I've said to you before, we have to practice actually becoming a little uncomfortable, because when we become uncomfortable, we get more comfortable in our lives. That's true, ladies and gentlemen. That is the truth. So let's think about this for just a moment. All right. Start small. So you're not going to go do like 10 miles or 2 miles. You're probably going to do like maybe 5 feet, 10 feet, and feel confident with that. You might even have some people holding just having their hands right on the bike, making sure you don't fall a little bit. And then you know what happens? You maybe go further and you fall. But you know what happens when you fall, ladies and gentlemen? You get back up. You see, if you don't fall, you don't learn. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. So there's nothing wrong with falling. When you fall, get back up. That's it. Get back up. Now you might say, well, John, I don't want to fall. Well, nobody wants to fall, right? But when we fall, we get more resilient. We more attuned to the promise we're trying to make for ourselves, right? I think that's really important. And when we think about that, it pushes us to want to go a little bit further. Yes, it pushes us to want to go a little bit further. And so by that happening, it causes a change. So what do I mean by a change? Well, it doesn't just cause, let's say, a change with us, let's say, emotionally. It causes a physical change. It causes a chemical change. And when these changes happen in our body, okay, we start to perceive the world differently. That's right. We start to perceive the world differently. And when we perceive the world differently, you know what happens? We're not the same person that we were before. We are not that same person. And if we're not that same person, that means we're able to do things that we couldn't do before. Right? We get more comfortable being uncomfortable. And you might have had this happen to you before. Maybe uh, you had your wisdom teeth taken out, or perhaps maybe you burnt your tongue. And when that happened, it wasn't like, you decided that you were going to be uncomfortable. It just happened. And it was a bump in the road. And guess what? You got over it. We've all burnt our mouth on pizza or a hot beverage or something, right? And we may not like the way it feels. It feels uncomfortable. There's a little discomfort. But you know what? That discomfort goes away, and that's just a faded memory. I remember the first time getting my wisdom teeth out, because I got one side out, then I got the other side out several years later. And so when I got the first side out, I remember I went to go do two, and I started with, I believe it was on my right side, okay, right here. And I actually went with a friend of mine and did the research on, which oral surgeon I was going to pick and all that. And it was a little uncomfortable. But what the surgeon had told me when I was interviewing him, that, John, you're going to feel discomfort. You're not going to feel pain. You're going to feel discomfort. And that's what it was. It was uncomfortable. If you ever taken your hand and maybe, just try to pull it back, not all the way, but you try to pull it back a little bit like this, that's not painful if you just do it a little bit, right? But it's a little bit uncomfortable. Just like if we hold a golf club. I golf. If you hold the club one way like this, okay, it's comfortable, but you don't hit the ball well. When you use the interlocking grip, which you guys can't see what I'm doing here, it's a little uncomfortable, but we become more comfortable being uncomfortable. So when you get those training wheels taken off, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to ride. It feels so much different. Just like my mouth felt so much different. And like I said, maybe your parents, your guardians were like right there saying, I want you to fall. Oh my gosh, I want you to fall. And that's the worst thing they could have done for you, because you need to fall first so you can learn how to balance and how to get up. Now, you figured that by the training wheels, you probably figure how to balance. Great. But when the wheels came off, the training wheels came off, and you started pedaling, you really started to get more of the feeling of what it was to be in balance. So the training wheels just kind of get you into the motion of being able to keep pedaling, right? So the bike didn't fall over. However, you really didn't understand balance until you got uncomfortable and those training wheels came off the bike. That's the real truth of the matter. And so when those training wheels came off, took a few minutes for that to happen, right? Your parents took maybe the little screw or whatever, they pushed the clip and they just lifted it right off. And then you got on the bike and it felt funny, right? It didn't feel like, when you're trying to chew, when, you just had your wisdom teeth taken out. It felt a different kind of funny, but it was still funny. And so you are like, I don't know how to pedal. And they're like, oh, you could pedal, just go 1 foot after the other, 1 foot after the other, 1 foot. So you got into the practice of pedaling, but now you had to get over that psychological fear of the bike was going to fall. So you pedaled, you pedaled, you pedaled, you pedaled, and maybe you pedaled a little bit and you stopped and you're okay. But then maybe you decided to go further, but maybe you lost your balance. Maybe it was a bump in the road, no pun intended there. And then you lost your balance and the bike fell over, you fell over with the bike. Maybe you scraped your knee. Maybe you cried, maybe you screamed, and you just wanted to lay on the ground. But that's the worst thing you could do. Your parents probably came to your aid, probably gave you some Neosporin or some other type of thing to clear up any kind of infection there that you have, and then they put a Band-Aid on it, gauze and a Band-Aid, and then you got back up, and they like, okay, you got to pedal. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to pedal anymore. And they're like, well, you have to. You just fell off the bike. It happened once. Yeah, but I don't want my bike anymore. I want to go back to training wheels. Well, you can't go back to the training wheels. You know how to pedal. No, but I can't balance. So your mind is putting this in your head that you can't balance. So now people have to work hard to try to motivate you. So they hold the bike a little bit so you can get pedal, but pedal, and they're like walking with it, and all of a sudden they let go, and they're like, okay, I think I got it, okay. And they're kind of doing this, and you're like, okay. And then people try to do things like take a hand off. I remember I've done this, take one hand off and take another hand off after you've been a good rider for a while, and you try to balance with just your body weight, but that's not something you do when you first start. So what happens is you might fall 1, 2, 3 or more times, and then you keep getting up, and you realize that the only way you're going to ride a bike is if you learn how to balance. That's what you learn. And when you learn how to balance, you know what happens? You learn how to ride a bike. You learn how to stop that bike, and how to ride that bike, and it's actually a pretty cool thing. Something I would say that you celebrate that balancing act. You celebrate that triumph. As I said, from training wheels to triumph. And this whole week we're going to be talking a lot about that. So I said you start small. When you're doing a new promise, you start small. And if you fall, just like if you were on a diet, right? You say, you know what, I'm going to skip this today, or I'm going to skip that, or I'm going to cut this back just a little bit. I'm not going to go cold turkey, but I'm maybe going to cut out 200 calories. I'm going to do something. And then if you fall, like you go back, like, oh, I had that. Okay, don't lose sleep over it. Work on getting to doing the best you can, and then being better and being cognizant of that. So you probably wondered why people say yes to certain things. How do our minds navigate the intricate decisions that shape our lives? And we're going to talk more about that. But exploring our life, exploring the hidden forces driving human behavior on our podcast is what we're going to do. From secrets behind compelling persuasion to unraveling the mysteries of influence, which we dive deep into the psychology of choice. And join us as each night we unlock the subconscious drivers behind the decisions we make every day. Get ready to uncover the science of decision making and take control of the choices that shape your world. You can cry all day that you didn't get the caramel chocolate that you wanted, or the peanut butter nougat, and that you got the one that was, I don't know, a jelly filled, or you got something else. You're like, oh, I don't like the cream, or I don't like the cherry. Get over it. What did Forrest Gump say? Mom always said, you never know what you're going to get in a box of chocolate. So if you have one, you don't like it, go back and get another one. I think what we're learning here is that balance, which started when we were basically a very young kid. And then after that, we started to realize that as we learn how to balance, we're able to ride a bike. We're able to get control. However, What we don't realize at that young age is that balance is a key to our success for the rest of our life. We'll talk more about that all week. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing to be with you tonight. This September 16, 2023, here on a Saturday with our brand new master topic, From Training Wheels to Triumph. Everyone loves to celebrate that triumph, that moment that you're able to just pedal, pedal, pedal. And I remember my parents would say, John, pedal, 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 and just kept thinking pedal, 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 pedal. Just keep pedaling, you're to balance. But then you have to realize, well, how do you stop? So when you're slowing down, you have to, you kind of slow your pedaling down, and then you have to get ready with one of your feet so you can balance the bike, so you know when the bike would lose its ability to balance on its own. So that's really cool. I hope you will like, love, support the channel. Comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. We're reaching over 7,000 downloads. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're growing. We'll be at 50,000 downloads pretty soon. Not this month, but pretty soon. And we got some great guests coming up. In fact, we have a guest that actually climbed Mount Everest that'll be on the Inspirations for Your Life show in January, with a special theme that's coming up. I won't tell you what that is yet. And so I think it's really important that we keep being a student the rest of our lives. We can always teach others, but we need to be a student all the time. And so I hope you'll make the choice to go to BelievMeAchieve.com, click on that link, help keep our content free, and make the choice. Buy my team not a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious bowl of desserts. Either way, we'll be grateful. Those pennies and dollars will invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to have an amazing life. Or I'd like to say, to get you from training your mind to triumphing with victory. Have yourself a great rest of your night, everyone. And you know what? I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, Sunday, with another episode. Take care, be well, and remember, you need to train before you can become a success.